you're going to have from the time you finish the radio until the 15-minute mark to send up your spot report. Does that make sense? All right. Okay. This sheet is going to be taped to the table. However, it's going to be blank. All right, I just have the stuff on there so I don't have to write it even more than I already do. Okay? First thing I recommend you do is on the side, write the acronym so you don't forget it. Okay? The next thing you can do is also write out line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 11. So you know that you have to say that when you go to transmit. All right, the acronym is Do You Salute A&A or Dr. Salute Anna. However you want to remember that, both work. Okay? The remainder of the report, right, is for you to fill out as fast and as accurately as possible. Okay? I'm literally going to give you 10 of the 11 lines. The last one is going to be some mathematics that you're going to have to do, and there's only going to be 3 lines that change between now and next week. All right? I'll let you figure out which ones it is, but that's how simple we're trying to make this for you. Okay? All right, line 1. That's going to be the date, time, group of the report submission. Okay, so when are you sending this up? The date, time, group format is as follows. It's the 2-digit day. So today's the 11th, 1-1, followed by the 4-digit time. So I'm going to round down a little bit. Okay, 1710, followed by a Lima. The letter L, that stands for local, because that's the time zone that we're currently using for this report. Okay, that's going to be followed by the month and the year. That is the format that you're going to use for the date-time group. Okay, line 2, that is the reporting unit and the method of observation. Okay, for reporting unit, just write whatever unit you are in. Okay, we're not going to make you memorize anything else. You're a unit. So in my case, 2501, and your method of observation is always going to be binos for here. That's why we made you pick up the binos before we did anything else. Okay? Line 3, size of the detected element. All right, so when you picked up your binos, what did you see? Was it a tank? Was it a car? A dog? All right, well, you're going to see a singular target. All right, so you're going to write down 1 pack. Line 4, what is that single E-type silhouette doing out in the field? Well, probably nothing, but we can't write that. However, we can write stationary. Let's write stationary. All right, line 5. This is one of the ones that requires you to do some work, okay? This is the enemy location. So we got to figure out 3 things to get line 5. First, we got to figure out where we are, and we got to figure out where we're looking on this map. We got to figure out how far away that target is from where we are, okay? So the first one's kind of simple. Where are we? Well, our signal operation instructions say that your location is 565-785. You're just going to plot that point on your map, okay? If you don't understand how to plot points or how to read a map, just let us know. We will make it make sense for you. If not, you're going to mess this up, all right? So 565-785, 5678. Boop. If you don't trust guesstimation, you do have 2 protractors that you can go ahead and measure, get that grade, okay? Next, we got to figure out where we're looking, all right? Nice, quick, and simple. From wherever you are to whatever target you were given, pull out your compass and shoot an azimuth to it, all right? Whatever that azimuth ends up being, you're going to make a note of that. So right now, my target's like right back there on that plywood board at approximately a 209-degree azimuth, okay? I can't put that on my map because that's magnetic. I have to convert it to grid, right? If you know how to do that, just do it. If you don't, look in the back. The left side's got the declination diagram. The right side of this picture tells you that your GM angle is 10 degrees, and the left side tells you that to convert from a magnetic to a grid, you're going to subtract your GM angle, okay? So, by that logic, my 209 becomes 199, and I can put that on my map. All right, the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to use both my protractors. I'm going to take the first one, and I'm going to put this crosshairs, right? The dead smack middle of the protractor. I'm going to put it over the point that I plotted. because that's where I am located. I'm going to hold it in place, and I'm going to take my second protractor. I'm going to essentially use the edge as a straight line, okay? I'm going to put it behind it, line it up, center to where my azimuth lines up, right? So 199 is down here, going this way, all right? I'm going to hold that in place, get rid of the top one because I don't need it anymore, and I'm going to make a line from my location using that straight edge. That's the way we are looking based on our location, okay? The last thing we got to figure out is how far away our target is so we can get a more accurate location for this report, okay? The way we're going to do that is we're going to use a little formula, okay? The formula is going to be the target height in inches times the constant divided by the target height in mils, okay? So this is what I mean by that. The target height in inches, we are going to give that to you. It's right here, 40 inches. It's going to be 40 inches today, tomorrow, next week, for as long as whoever manufactures those E-type silhouettes does, okay? 40 inches. We are going to multiply that by a constant. The constant in this case is 25.4. 25.4 is not written anywhere. You just have to remember that that is the constant, 25.4, okay? Those two numbers are not going to change. It's going to be 40 times 25.4 when you come up here. What is going to change is what we divide by. That is however you measure your target in mils using the binoculars. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, just let me know. When we get done here, I'll make it make sense for you, okay? If you don't, good luck. All right, dope. So if we look back there, right, that bottom target says that it's approximately 7 mils. So I'm just gonna plug in 7 into my formula. I'm gonna grab my calculator and just plug it all in. 40 times 25.4 equals a number that I'm going to divide by 7. My end result is 145.14285. I don't care about the 0.14285. I care about the 145. That is how far away my target is along that line, okay? So now I need to measure 145 meters. You can use this bar scale back here if you want to make some dots on some lines and figure out where 100 is and 140, so on and so forth. Or you can just use that same protractor we've been using, okay? Using that same 1 in 50,000 meters triangle, right? You're going to place the 0 where you are located, and you're going to line up either base of the triangle to your line, okay? The 1 is 100, the 2 is 200, the 3, 300, so on and so forth, all right? So if I know that 2 is 200 and 1 is 100, that means somewhere in the middle is 150, all right? That's whereabouts where I need to be. I'm gonna mark that line, right? I'm gonna put a dot next to it, so I know that I have to pull the grid for where that dot is on my line, okay? So now I'm gonna just pull that grid. Okay, first thing I'm going to notice is that it's still in the same grid square. So 5, 6, 7, 8. And it looks like it's a 4 and a 4. So 5, 6, 4, 7, 8, 4. That's the location of my enemy, but our grid's not complete for the report. Okay, grids need some identifications beforehand. If you know what I'm talking about, good, just write that down. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, right in the middle of the back of the map, right, is part of the legend, okay? It tells us that our grid zone designation is 17 Sierra. That goes first. Right above it, it tells us that the square identification is Papa Victor over Papa Uniform. The line in the middle points to 00, okay? To make that make some sense, this is 87, right up here, okay? If we keep going, we're gonna hit 00 up here. We're below that, so we're at the bottom part, Papa Uniform. Those first 5 characters, right, 17 Sierra Papa Uniform, are never going to change. They've been the same for about 13 years. If anyone's been here longer, I'm sure they were the same. All right? Crazy, right? What is going to change is your grid. That's going to be based on how you measure your target, right? How you plot your point, okay? But we're going to grade that 6-digit grid plus or minus 200 meters, all right? Cool. Everyone's like, I don't know what that means, but all right. All right, the remainder of the report, you just keep filling it out, all right? Line 6, some of you might remember this as uniform from salute. It is now the enemy unit, okay? Your book gives you all of the options, excuse me, all right? So you got conventional, irregular, host nation, civilian, non-governmental, something, something, okay? All you need to write for this is conventional. All right, line 7. What is the daytime group of the observed activity? So when is this happening, right? Now, if we are calling this up at 1710, would it make sense if we are observing this at 1730? No, right? Because normally you see some shit and then you call that up. You don't call shit up without seeing it, right? Okay, the simplest way for me to make you understand that it is before the line 1 is just make this time 10 minutes prior. Okay, so whatever you wrote on line 1, line 7, just make it 10 minutes before. All right, so we're going to use the same format. 11-1700 Lima, September 2024. All right, line 8, equipment. What equipment does your enemy have? All right, well, I told you that it's an E-type silhouette. It can't really have much on it. It's a piece of plastic unless we count the picket, right? All right, so we're not going to write a picket, okay? However, if you're standing in the middle of a field, alone and unafraid, right, you're still probably going to have your M4 on you, right? So we're going to write small arms. Okay, line 9, the sender's assessment. So why are you sending this up? Why does this matter? Well, line 4, we said that E-type silhouette's out there just standing there being menacing, okay? Well, there's a lot of shit that we can do if we're standing in one spot in the middle of a field, okay? You can be observing something, overwatching something, conduct some reconnaissance, digging a hole, taking a break. There's a lot of shit, right? As long as you write something in tactical terms that expands line 4, you'll be all right, okay? I am once again, for the 35th time this week, going to attempt to write reconnaissance. Spelling does not count, folks, as long as you say the word properly when you call up their report. All right, sure. That looks okay. All right, line 10. That is the narrative. So why does this matter? Oh, excuse me, no. The narrative. Your book says narrative, parentheses, actions taken, okay? What are you going to do about it, right? All you need to write for what you're going to do about it is you're going to continue to observe. All right, and lastly, line 11, authentication. We're not going to give you a sheet to decipher what word of the day, what letter of the day, or whatever entails, okay? It's going to be real simple. Your authentication is going to be your initials. So in my case, Charlie Alpha, report complete. We just have to call it up, right? When you call this up, if your grader has already taken the radio apart or he's taking the radio away, all right, don't worry about it. Just tell it to your grader, okay? He's going to be listening either way. If the radio is still there, you're simply going to grab the hand mic and just talk into it. Don't actually press the button, all right? Reason being, our report is real lengthy. Everyone else's kind of isn't. So if you're talking, someone interrupts you, you might freak out. We don't want that, okay? Just pretend to talk into it. It's going to be okay. All right? And lastly, before you hear what this sounds like, tree, Fowler, Fife, Niner, 1011. Proper RTO phonetics. Okay? So when you call this up, it sounds like this. Sierra Main, this is Sierra 1, prepare to copy spot report. The grader will tell you send it. Line 1-1-1-1-7-1-0 Lima, Sierra Echo Papa 202 Fowler. Line 2-2-5-0-1 Binos. Line 3-1 Pack. Line Fowler stationary. Line 5-1-7 Sierra Papa uniform. 5-6 Fowler 7-8 Fowler. Line 6 conventional. Line 7-1-1-1-7-0-0 Lima, Sierra Echo Papa 202 Fowler. Line 8 small arms. Line 9 correction. Line 9er reconnaissance. Line 10 continue to observe. Line 11 Charlie Alpha. How copy? Over. All right, when you say over is when your time is going to stop. All right, for line 9, notice that I said 9 and then I said correction, line 9er. That is how you're going to correct anything that you want on this report. Questions, comments, concerns?